Calling the meeting to order. City Council meet on Thursday, July 15 at 7 p.m. to hold its regular meeting for the purpose of discussing any and all business via remote participation in accordance with Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, specific information, general guidelines for remote participation by members of the... Thanks, Maureen.
Bring you a fly swatter?
Some type of spray.
Oh, Lysol?
Would make it
It does smell nice. City clerks are like Doraemon. I don't know if you guys know Doraemon. Pulling stuff out of the pocket. I got everything. For remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the city's website at salem.com. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the city's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch, listen, or provide comment, if applicable during the meeting, may do so by clicking on the link on the agenda, or go to the website zoom.us/join, entering meeting webinar ID 858-5948-4261, followed by the meeting password as provided in the agenda. By phone, dial a toll-free number 877-853-5257 or 888-475-4499. When prompted, enter the meeting webinar ID 858-5948-4261 and follow instructions to join the meeting. For those dialing in, you may press star 9 to raise your hand to speak or sign up for public testimony or to participate in the public hearing portion of the agenda if applicable. This meeting is being broadcast live on SATV Channel 22 and on Facebook. Members of the public wishing to speak on agenda items must follow the how to sign up for public testimony outlined on the agenda below. Members of the public wishing to speak during hearings designated as public hearings may do so by following how to participate noted in the agenda. Regular meeting of the City Council held remotely on Thursday, July 15 at 7 p.m. for the purpose of transacting any and all business. Notice of this meeting was posted on July 13th at 12:51 p.m. This meeting is being taped and is live on SATV. Councilors absent, none. None, okay. Council President Madore presided. Council Persnewski moves to dispense with the reading of the record of the previous meeting. All those in favor? See 11 hands. All those opposed? Mass carried. President Madore requests that everyone please rise to recite the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilor McCarthy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have public testimony. 2 members of the public have signed up tonight. First, we have Mr. Seth Muscalo.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. Yes, I want to speak in favor of...
Can you just state your name and address for the record, please, Seth?
Yes, first name is Seth, last name is Moscolo, M-A-S-C-O-L-O. And you need the address as well?
Yes, please.
40 English Street in Salem.
Thank you.
And yes, in favor of renaming the street in honor of Harry Houdini, because it's good. A, it's good for tourism, and B, this October 31st, Halloween, marks the 95th anniversary of Houdini's death. And also, the backstory is very funny. because not only did he manage to escape from the handcuffs and chains, he'd also handcuffed another prisoner to him, released the rest of the inmates out onto the street, and the result, one inmate was never recaptured.
Seth, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Disappeared.
That is my testimony.
You all set?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come out and share that story with us. Next, we have Mr. Jeff Cohen. Is Jeff here?
I don't think Jeff is on yet. I don't see Jeff. Jeff, you're out there and we can't recognize how you logged on. Could you please raise your hand?
Okay. That concludes public testimony. Next, we have hearings.
We have an order from Verizon Wireless to install telecommunications on Bridge Street.
Any members of the public who would like to speak in favor of this? Please raise your hand or dial *9 on your phone. Seeing none, any members of the public? Well, do we have a representative from Verizon?
This is being held over to September 9th.
Oh, sorry. I'm too busy scratching my legs.
That's awesome.
I apologize. Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to keep the public hearing open until September 9th due to continued discussions with the Design Review Board by roll call vote.
Councilor Riccardi moves to keep the public hearing until September 9th due to continued discussions with the Design Review Board by roll call vote. Seeing no further discussion, Madam City Clerk.
Councilor Torrio,
Yes.
Councilor Sargent,
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi,
Yes.
Councilor Presnowski,
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo,
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth,
Yes.
Councilor Flynn,
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez,
Yes.
Councilor Dibble.
Yes.
And Councilor Madore.
Yes. On the motion to keep this hearing open, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative. The mayor carries. Further hearings.
We have an order from National Grid and Verizon to install one jointly owned pole on Forester Street.
Any members of the public appearing in favor?
Oh.
Yeah, so we have Sabita, somebody from National Grid, most likely Sabita. Could you please state your name and address for the record, please, National Grid?
Sabita Mahabir Shihi, representing National Grid, 44 River Street, Beverly, Mass. The customer is putting in a driveway and the pole is in the way. We are moving the pole to accommodate.
Thank you. Any further comments from members of the public who would like to speak in favor? Seeing none, any members of the public appearing in opposition, please raise your hand or dial *9. Let's see.
Yeah, I see one. Mr. Michaels, if you could unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Sorry about the hand going up and down, having some problems there. My name is Paul Michaels, and I'm a resident of 14 Forester, Unit 2, Salem, Mass. And I have lived here for just over a year, and I have absolutely no information on this whatsoever. In fact, this is the first I've heard of it. So it would, we all like to be informed in our decision making. I at this point can't make a decision because all I know is that somebody's having a driveway put in and asking to move the pole. I don't know what the pole does. I don't know what the advantages, disadvantages, et cetera, et cetera.
Thank you, Mr. Michaels. Sabita, could you help clarify and provide some of the information, please?
The pole is services people electricity in that location or communications. Presently, it is in the way of them accessing their driveway, so we are moving it to accommodate them. It should not affect anybody else. It's in front of their property.
When you say communications, are you talking about cellular communications or landline? Or...
Landlines.
So there's no cellular component to it with the possibility of EMS?
No.
Okay. And what number on Forester is this? Because
It's right in front of number 16.
Number 16?
Yeah.
Okay. And so I assume that it would be moved either to the left or the right of where it is now so that it can fulfill its purpose unobstructed.
Yes, it will be moved. If you're facing the number 16, it will be moved to your right.
Okay. Well, now that I actually have some information about that, and assuming that it does not have any cellular or radio components to it, and it's simply a pole holding up wires, then I withdraw my objection to it, and we'll go from there.
Any additional members of the public who would like to speak in favor or opposition? Seeing none, Councillor Hapworth.
Thank you, Madam President. Councillor Dibble?
Councillor Sargent.
None. Councillor Sargent.
Yes, I have a couple of questions.
Yes, Councillor Sargent.
Thank you. Through you, Madam President, the pole's now in front of number 16, Forester?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's going to be moved and remain in front of number 16 when it's completed, right? The new pole will still be in front of number 16, right?
Correct.
It won't. I just want to make sure it's not going to be in front of number 14 or number 18 at all, right?
No, it's according to the sketch that was sent to you, right, remaining in number 16.
Yeah, I don't have the backup detail. How many feet about is it being moved?
15 feet.
Yeah. And it will interrupt people's electrical and cable service for probably...
No, it's side set, so it will just be attach and a removal from the old pole.
Okay. As long as it's going to remain in front of number 16, I just don't want it to show up in front of somebody else's house and they didn't know what was going on. And
Nope.
Oh.
Okay.
The rerun's over? No, it's like, all right, well, I'll yield for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Any Councillor Dibble?
Thank you, Madam President. I would have to agree with National Grid's comments just now. The existing pole is right between number 16 and 22. Looks like it's right on the property line, and it's moving X number of feet, as she just said, back in front of number 16, who is making the request to put in a driveway. What I do want to speak on is I want to thank Mr. Michaels, who lives nearby, perhaps right next door, and on his concerns on cellular being placed. And just want to say to National Grid and Verizon that this would not be a good location, in my opinion, for any small cell antennas, because it is now directly in front of the house, the left side of the house as you face it from the street. And it's very, very close to the house itself, because the sidewalks there are pretty narrow. So I'll be voting in favor of this. And if it had if it had included cellular, there would be no way I would be supporting this proposal. And again, thank you to Mr. Paul Michaels for speaking up. Thank you.
Any other members of the council who would like to comment on this? Seeing none, Councillor Hepworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that we close the public hearing.
Councillor Hepworth moves to close the public hearing. All those in favor? See 11 hands. All those opposed? The hearing is closed. Councillor Hepworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be granted.
Councillor Hepworth moved that this be granted. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All those opposed? Seeing none, the matter is granted. Further hearings.
We have an order from National Grid to install conduits on First Street.
Any members of the public who would like to speak in favor? Please raise your hand or dial *9. Sabita, go ahead.
Sabita Mahabir Shihi, representing National Grid, 44 River Street, Beverly, Massachusetts. This is to provide service to the project at 44 Traders Way. 45 Traders Way, sorry.
Thank you. Any other members of the public who would like to speak in favor? Seeing none, any members of the public would like to speak in opposition, please raise your hand. Any members of the council would like to offer comments? Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll just reiterate from the last public hearing we had for National Grid in this location that I would appreciate some communication before it's done so I can get notice out to the residents in that area. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Any further comments? Seeing none, Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move to close the public hearing.
Councilor Marcillo moves to close the public hearing. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All those opposed? Seeing none, the hearing is closed. Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be granted.
Councilor Marcillo moves that this be granted. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All those opposed? Seeing none, the matter carries. Appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's appointment of Attorney Zachary Cantor of 24 Carlton Street to the Planning Board with a term to expire July 15th, 2026.
Councilor Hepworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move this be held under the rules until the next meeting.
Councilor Hepworth moves that this be held until next meeting. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All those opposed? Matter is held. Further appointments and reappointments.
We have the mayor's reappointment of Donald Bates to the Board of Registered Voters with a term to expire on July 19th, 2024, and John Andrews to the Public Arts Commission to expire on July 20th, 2023.
Councilor Hepworth.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for confirmation by roll call vote.
Councilor Hepworth moves for confirmation by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Just want to thank Mr. Bates for his continued service and just recognize and appreciate John Andrews for everything he does for the community. I think that we've got a lot of people in this community that focus on buildings and things, and John focuses on people and connecting people and using our public spaces to connect people to each other, and just appreciate everything he does for this community.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Prosnewski?
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hepworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore?
Yes. On the reappointment of Donald Bates and John Andrews, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $300,000 is hereby transferred from the HR Department's medical insurance account to the snow and ice snow removal account as provided below to reduce the snow and ice deficit incurred in fiscal year 2021.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Council Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Council Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I also move for adoption by roll call vote.
Council Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. So this, and we have another use. We have basically, to put this about as simply as possible, what we're doing is taking some money that's left over in other accounts for at year's end and using them to close out a couple of other issues that we have. So in this particular case, moving money into snow and ice in order to help reduce the deficit that we run each year in that account will help us at tax recap time in keeping the tax rates a little bit lower as a result. So that's the use here by doing a budget transfer rather than putting it into free cash in another month or so and then sweeping it back in. We're doing a direct transfer. Normally, any leftover revenue at the end of the year would be swept into free cash, but in this case, we're moving it before moving it to free cash. So that's the rationale behind it. And that way, because it's a deficit and you're trying to close out the books on 2021, this way we can do it a little faster.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. To you, I would like to ask to the good Councilor Ward 5. Can you tell us why we're paying snow services so late? I think we already passed. I mean, why is the reason why we now are addressing this issue when the contractor or whoever provides the service might be waiting for the money way back ago? I mean, way month ago. Any reason why?
What I'll tell you is that generally speaking, I can't tell you specifically here, but generally speaking, vendors get paid, and then this is a matter of filling up the account that we go into deficit on. Because this is the one place in the city budget in which we can do deficit spending. We have to balance the books everywhere else. But when it comes to snow and ice, and we discussed this at budget time, Councilor, we pre-fund a portion of it, and we don't pre-fund nearly the entire amount, because if we do so, because of some fairly funky accounting reasons that were explained to me way back when I started in the job, if you raise your snow and ice budget in order to cover what you might think is there, it's really difficult to reduce that budget later on. So we keep it to a small manageable amount, and then we deficit spend on that.
I understand. Madam President, can I follow up?
Allow one more comment. Thank you.
Thank you. I understand. Thank you for the great explanation. But my question is that being paid already, or we just on paper? Okay. So thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. I thought this was an easy one that I was going to vote for, but the comments don't jive with me. And I'd rather see this go to committee so we can have a discussion on this and not have a debate about this on the council floor here tonight. But if the bills have been paid, I'm not looking for an answer, but if the bills have been paid, why are we transferring money now? So let's have, let's bring the city engineer and have a fast discussion on this in committee. So I'd like to see this go to committee, please. Thank you.
We're transferring money to cover the deficit.
But if the bills have been paid, there should be no deficit.
As the Ward 5 councilor just explained, this is one account we can spend with a deficit according to state law. So we do this every year. Councilor Dibble moves to refer the matter to the Committee on Administration and Finance.
I second
that. Second by Councilor Dominguez. All those in favor? All right. Any further discussion on the referral? All those in favor to refer?
Councilor McCarthy has his hand up, Madam President.
Councilor McCarthy, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam President. This is something we do every year. This is, as Councilor Terrio referred to, this is, you know, as it was explained to him in over 14 years of paying attention in finance, this is what happens. If you were to set a budget for snow and ice removal at a larger number, you can never reduce the amount you set for that budget. So if you anticipate, after a big year of snow, like Snowmageddon, like 7 or 8 years ago, if you were to raise the budget to try to cover those incurred costs, and I believe our deficit that year was $1.5 million, maybe closer to maybe.
It was $5 million.
Yeah, it was 1.5 we had to borrow from the state.
Yes.
Thank you. But because of those incurred costs, we do pay our contractors, but you are allowed to carry a negative balance in your budget. Rather than wait till the end of the year, we're closing out the books for our fiscal year. Normally, I would support sending this to committee, but when we're trying to close out our books, this is just accounting. You are not allowed. The snow and ice budget's one of those budgets that if you say we had a year with no snow whatsoever, and there was money left in the account, that is one account you are not allowed to touch. What we're doing right now with where we have an account that had extra money left, we're utilizing that rather than wait to get it certified free cash and moving it back. So this is just an accounting issue. It's something that as Councilor Turiel referenced, it's one of those weird accounts, and it's the only account that we're allowed to do this. And I would normally support my fellow colleagues with the result of trying to have this discussion, but the fact of the matter is the contractors have been paid. It's an accounting issue. We're allowed to carry a deficit, and how and when we're just paying that deficit down earlier rather than waiting for all the free cash to get certified and then paying it down later. So it's just an accounting issue. So I don't have a problem with closing out the books in such a way that we actually pay down this deficit. So as much as I'd like to support my fellow colleagues on this, I will be supporting the closing of the books. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Madam President.
Councilor Turiel.
Thank you, Madam President. I will also say to that, this is something where I wouldn't really have an issue with it, but we don't have another meeting until September. So in this particular case, if we send this to committee, then we have a chunk of money holding out that we can't close the books for the year on. And normally July, August is when we close the books and certify our free cash. And so that throws a curveball into things as far as reporting to the state as well. So I would not support sending it to committee.
Any further discussion? On Councilor Dibble's motion to refer this matter to the Committee on Administration and Finance, all those in favor? See 2 hands. All those opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There were 3 hands up in favor.
All right, 3 in favor, 9 opposed. Sorry.
8 opposed.
8 opposed.
8 opposed. The summer is making me off. The matter does not carry. On the motion to adopt by roll call vote, any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk.
Councilor Turiel?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Krasnewski?
Yes.
Councilor Martillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hepworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
No.
Councilor Dibble?
Present.
And Councilor Madore?
Yes. On appropriation to the snow removal account, we have 11 councilors voting, 8 in affirmative, 1 in the negative, 1 present. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $192,324.07 be approved within the Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave Buyback account to be expended for the fiscal year 2021 contractual buybacks of 7 school employees.
Councilor Turiel.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Turiel moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Councilor Turiel.
Thank you, Madam President. I also move for adoption by roll call vote.
Council Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This is for 7 employees of the Salem Public School System who are retiring this year, and we wish them all well.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk.
Council Terrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Prosnewski,
Yes.
Council Marcillo,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the appropriation for the retirement, vacation sick leave buyback account, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative, the mayor carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We've been ordered that the sum of $19,850 is hereby transferred from the HR Department's medical insurance account to the accounts as listed below to cover remaining final payroll costs of fiscal year 2021.
Council Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. Move for suspension of the rules.
Council Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Council Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I also move for adoption by roll call vote.
Council Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. So this, my understanding here is that this is also an accounting measure because the cash is there in the city. But in this particular case, it's a year-end cleanup that's being triggered mainly because there were a few extra days in the year, as in the fiscal year, as compared the way the weeks fell. So we have a little bit of extra money that we have to cover on this, and between that and the COVID furloughs that were happened earlier in the year and the reductions in restoration of positions, we have a little bit of money left to cover. So again, this is a housekeeping matter, much like the one that we just did.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Terrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Prosnewski,
Yes.
Council Marcillo,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the matter to transfer to cover payroll costs for FY 2021, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative, the mayor carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order that the sum of $17,948.40 be approved within the Retirement Stabilization Fund Vacation Sick Leave Buyback Account to be expended for the fiscal year 2022 contractual buyback for one school department employee.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for suspension of the rules.
Councilor Terrio moves to suspend the rules. Seeing no objection, Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I also move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. So this one is actually the first retirement that is in fiscal year 2022. So, which is why it's a separate matter from the other ones we just did. But again, this is for a retiring public school employee, and we wish her and her family well.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Terrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Prosnewski,
Yes.
Council Marcillo,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the matter of the appropriation for the retirement fund, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative, the matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order to accept the donation of one FlexiDome Multi 7009 multi-directional security camera valued at $1,456 from Box Security Systems to be installed at Bertram Field by the Salem Police Department.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. This has been donated as part of our security measures at the new Bertram Field, and it's a very generous donation. It's to put on my day job hat for a moment. This is a pretty sweet ride of a camera, and it'll be really useful, and that's going to be a big help to the police, and will integrate with the existing systems. So I think that was very kind of Bosch Security, and I look forward to them using it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Oh, Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. As long as we're talking about Bertram, I want to remind people that the ribbon cutting ceremony is next Thursday at 5:30. And I encourage everyone to come and see the new facilities, and make sure you also check out the Bertuccio Avenue side where the emergency entrance is. There's a really beautiful landscaping job that they did there. So I just want to give a shout out to that crew that was in charge of designing this. They did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Terrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Kwasniewski?
Yes.
Councilor Masillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore?
Yes. On the matter of acceptance of the donation, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative, the matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order to accept the donation of $1,000 from Kevin and Peggy Carnaccio to be deposited into the Bertram Field Donation Fund for the Bertram Field Phase 2 project.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. With all the stuff going on in the Carnaccio's life, it's just really, it just says something about them that they can find the time and generosity to do something like this for the city, and shows you what kind of people they are. And I couldn't be more thankful to them. And I still owe Kevin a roast beef. So thanks a lot.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Dibble.
Very briefly, I'd like to echo the Ward 5 council's comments just now. Peg and Kevin give so much back to Salem, and this is just one more example of it. They're awesome people. Thank you.
Councilor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. Kevin's father, Joseph Pep Carnaccio, the street lead into Bertram Field, is named after him. It was dedicated about 20 years ago. And all 5 of the Carnaccio boys played football at Salem High, so it's very fitting. They're good alumni, and their dad is probably the most famous alumni ever in Salem High football history, so it is very, very fitting. That's the kind of family they are. They're very unselfish, very team-orientated, so thank them all very much.
Thank you. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd be remiss if I didn't say anything. I think I owe Kevin a super sub, a big steak and cheese over from Super Sub in Beverly. I had the pleasure of spending a lot of time with Kevin when our boys were in the band together, and we'd be up in the stands. And I think one of the funniest moments was when we went to, it was senior day, and it happened to be at Herd Stadium over in Beverly, but they needed someone to do the yardsticks for the flag football that the cheerleaders would play. And of course, our boys were both dressed up as cheerleaders, and the two of us have a very proud picture of our 2 boys dressed as cheerleaders and us holding the yardsticks along the sidelines of the field, very much like his father used to do. And we were, it was probably one of the funniest moments I ever had with Kevin. I've had many moments with him, and it speaks volumes to the family that with everything they're going through right now, that they would take the time to make a donation to Bertram Field, a site where their family spends, their father spent so much time. And I can remember giving Pepper rides around, picking him up after events and stuff, and giving him a ride home because he lives down near me. and he would tell stories about football and playing both ways. And he was just an amazing man, and he has an amazing group of kids. And I just want to thank them for all that they do.
Thank you. Councillor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. I would also be remiss to not send a thank you to some of my favorite Ward 6 residents. Peggy and Kevin are just neighbors one can only wish for, as we're all noting. One thing that I wanted to comment on, about 20 years ago, I was working at a bank about an hour from here, and I mentioned to my new coworker that I was from Salem, and that coworker started to tell me about 2 hours of stories worth of Pep Cornacchio stories. So definitely a legend that I feel like I knew the Cornacchio family before I knew them. The name and the family, they are definitely a vital part of the fabric of Salem. And it does say a lot that they are thinking of continuing their legacy and really want to help the field continue in a solid state with this donation. So it's a very heartfelt thanks to the Cornacchio family.
Thank you. Councillor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to echo all these statements as well. The Cornacchio family, an old school alumni family in Salem. I miss seeing their dad, Pep, around. You'd see Pep everywhere, a gentleman, someone that I always looked up to and respected. And it's so fitting that that road has been named after him several years ago, as Councilor Sargent said. I just want to thank them again for that donation and thank them again for being a legendary family in Salem. This is really, really appreciated. This is an awesome, awesome donation. And I think it means a lot to everyone that knows the Cornacchio family. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Presniewski.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention how appreciative how indebted we are to the Cornacchio family as a community for everything that they've always done. I remember working for years, my whole career, alongside of Pep Cornacchio at every football game when he held the chains at the sideline. And even when he was getting up there in age and getting run over by high school kids that were going out of bounds and getting up and brushing himself off and stepping up again with a big smile, always a pat on the back. And it's a wonderful family. It's just so nice to see that Kevin's keeping the legacy going, and the just the thoughts of the Cornacchio. I would love to see something put on Bertram Field in honor of that, because he and his family have just done so much for this community. Even naming the street after him was terrific. But I can't say enough. And thank you, Kevin. Thank you, and we hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.
Thank you.
I hope that I'm not sure with the win how that all came out, but thank you.
It sounded perfect. Councilor Masillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I will just echo everything that's already been said. The Cornacchios are a wonderful family, and the city appreciates their very generous donation to the field. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
With pleasure. Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Presniewski?
Yes.
Councilor Masillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore?
Yes. On acceptance of the donation from Kevin and Peggy Cornacchio, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative. The matter carries. We greatly appreciate the donation. Further communications from the mayor.
We've been ordered that the City of Salem approves and accepts the funding provided to the city pursuant to Public Law Number 117-2, also called the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, including but not limited to all funds distributed by the coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds as specified in the law.
Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Terrio moves for adoption by roll call vote under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. So we've been talking about the American Rescue Plan Act in recent meetings. At some point during the remainder of the summer, we'll be having a committee meeting to talk about funds coming in and some of the uses for them. And I know the mayor is planning some outreach and public discussion on it as well. But this authorization is what we have to do as a city council in order to accept the funds from the federal government. So, this is probably the biggest no-brainer vote we'll have all year.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Terrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Presnowski?
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore.
Yes. On the acceptance of funds for the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none the negative. The mayor carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have two home rule petitions to convert a seasonal license for the sale of all alcoholic beverages to be drunk on the premises to an annual license of the sale of all alcoholic beverages be drunk on the premises for Delicia at 75 Congress Street and for Salem's Retreat at 96 North Street.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Marcillo moves for adoption by roll call vote under discussion.
No real discussion. These are great restaurants and I wish them the best.
Any further discussion? Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. Some of these, there's actually 6 in total. I know we're talking about 2 right now, but there's 5 locations that are for all liquors, and then there's 1 that's just for beer and wine. I'm not sure why we're just taking up 2 when all 6 of them are part of this. Some of these are going into some existing establishments and some former establishments at the same place with a new name. It might have been closed for a little while. One of these is a newest, well, maybe more than one, at least one in Ward 7 that is a new facility that previously was not a bar room or it was an office area. So I'd like to see this go to committee so that the abutters could be heard if there are any concerns at all. I'm not sure, but we heard nobody speak on this earlier during public testimony. I know that there's the one that's located on Loring Avenue. There's a bunch of seniors that live right near there, as a couple of the others that are on this list as well. So I'd like to see this go to committee so that we can at least have an opportunity for the public to be heard if there are concerns. And if not, I'll be voting in favor of this, but I'd like to hear, at least give the opportunity for abutters who live right near there to have their say.
So we are taking up the first 2 because they are conversions. And then the subsequent ones are granting licenses. So these are businesses that have gone through a full year and a half of pretty tough year. So I would not further delay this for them, especially with the new business on North Street.
I agree, Madam President, but the way it's worded in our agenda is that all 6 of them are part of one vote.
The one we have up right now is 2 home rule petitions to convert, and the next will take up 2 more to grant. And then I think there's a couple more to grant for package stores. So they differ in the type of license. Further discussion. Well, Councilor Dibble moved that this be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs for further discussion. Is that a second, Councilor McCarthy? Is there a second? Seeing no second, the motion fails. Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. You touched on it. The two that are right in front of us right now are conversions, one of which happens to be in my ward, and I reached out to the city solicitor to find out if there were any complaints and or issues with the current owner, the way they were conducting business, and there was one minor complaint, nothing, and there's never been a complaint from any of the neighbors. So I don't have a problem with the conversion to going from seasonal to all year. So I would move that we take them up as they come up. I mean, obviously, if the good Ward 7 councilor has a concern with a specific new license in his ward, then if he wishes to hold that back, that's his choice. But with this one, I would move forward with these two conversions.
Thank you. Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. I have to agree with the group. Ward 1 councilor, I have the opportunity to be very close to that business. And also I agree with the comment of presidents that based on the fact that the 1.5 years they've been struggling, it's about time that we bring some relief by moving forward and try to get those expedited. I also agree with the comments on the new one that if we can, they are separate, we can go one by one and see case by case and try to accommodate not only the business but also the neighborhood in case there is any issue or any concern. However, I think we need to move forward as soon as we can to try to alleviate the economic or financial situation that they have. I happen to know those two, especially that one that is in Ward 1, and I know for a fact that if we cannot produce any type of help, they might be closing down. So it's a way to help. I think this is the appropriate way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to say that I also support the conversion of the license at 96 North Street. This is really a newer business, as it has been closed for a few years, but prior to that, it was a restaurant for a long time, dating back through numerous name changes. The sign to the restaurant never actually was removed, so I don't think anyone is going to be surprised. The restaurant has reopened as the restaurant itself, but as the good at-large counselor just alluded to, this is definitely going to help with their economic resiliency and in starting a new business. I do appreciate that there are still people out there that want to start a new restaurant business during this time, and all of the neighbors and residents nearby are also excited. I have only heard positive feedback. I have received a question often of when are they going to receive their license back. So I feel if this did not go through this evening, I would have many knocks on my door this evening as to reasons why. But I just wanted to speak in support of passing this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor DeVoe.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to apologize. After reading the 8 pages last night, I thought that all 6 of them were lumped together, and that's not the case. They're indeed, these first 2 are of a separate vote, and I missed at the bottom of this 3rd page, I think it is. So unfortunately, I made that motion, but on these 2, I'm absolutely going to support both of these. On any new locations, I'd like to see it go to committee so the neighborhood can hear that a bar or whatever it is that's selling all sorts of alcohol is going in next door to their houses or near their house. Thank you.
Okay. Councilor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. I am supportive of these 2, and especially the one in North Salem I know is the neighborhood place. It's I believe, like as in my own neighborhood, it's good to have at least one neighborhood place for the neighbors to be able to walk to. I don't think there should be too many into the neighborhoods. And these were originally made for the downtown area to revitalize the downtown area and kind of make our version of Hanover Street in the North End, and it worked well. But I just have a question. As I know, the Leslie's Retreat had a liquor license for, I don't know, 30, 40 years. What happened to that original liquor license that was for that business?
Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, so the Leslie's closed. The owner was no longer able to operate it, and she did, I believe, hold on to the license for a little bit, but you can't do that forever. And eventually the license was sold to Flatbread downtown. I'll also note too, we had the Moose Lodge in the neighborhood that has recently closed, so they're no longer an establishment serving. Yep, and now there's a new owner who's hoping to reopen. Now, I know we've said Leslie's a few times, but Salem's Retreat.
Yeah, I know. Thank you very much. But I don't know if there's an answer on the council tonight. The license board would probably know if there are any licenses out there available. We again, I support having a place in the neighborhood, and I'm going to vote for this. But we're starting to have a lot of liquor licenses at Salem, and again, it's downtown. But I just don't think we should have too many that move into the neighborhoods and into the residential areas. And with that, I'll yield. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. Just to answer one thing that was brought up, the Ward 6 councilor actually answered the one question that I was going to pop in with the same one, but at the moment there are no current unused available liquor licenses. The license that the Rockets had been holding on to is currently being used to run their beer garden on the site where the new hotel is eventually going to be built. And that was one license that I know was sitting unused, but they owned it and for that physical location and finally have deployed it for that. But all our other licenses are currently in use right now.
Thank you. Seeing no further discussion. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Terrio.
Yes.
Councilor Sargent.
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi.
Yes.
Councilor Prosnewski.
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo.
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth.
Yes.
Councilor Flynn.
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez.
Yes.
Councilor Dibble.
Yes.
Councilor Madore.
Yes. On the two home rule petitions, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative, and that carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have two home rule petitions to grant additional liquor license for the sale of all alcoholic beverages to be drunk on the premises for Yahoo Coffee Roaster and Wine Bar at 130 Canal Street and the same restaurant at 57 Loring Ave.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Councilor Marcillo moves that this be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs. Under discussion.
Thank you. Yeah, I do have a question. Who takes care of the notification to the abutters?
Is that licensing? I'm seeing some heads nodding.
On a home rule petition, there are no abutter notices. It's not going through licensing. It goes to the state to get approved. So it's not a hearing. It's not the normal procedure, but it's consultorial.
Once we approve it, the state has to approve it too. So
correct. So I guess go ahead, Councilor Terrio.
Councilor Terrio.
Sorry, thank you. Once we approve it, as I understand it, then the licensing board has a hearing to actually issue the license. Because the home rule license is issued by the state to the licensing board for granting at a specific location. So then they would appear on the licensing board agenda for granting the home rule license. If somehow the people who were getting the license then were turned down, then the license just disappears. I will also say, knowing that there is basically, it's the area that the Canal Street location is in, I have no objections to that one. It's across from Crosby's, so, and next to a veterinary office, so there's no real issues there, but.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to make sure that this OLA meeting is worthwhile. If there's not going to be any abutter notices, but the abutter notices come through the licensing board when there is an actual license in play, I'm just not sure if this is a necessary step, since it still has to go to the state for approval and then come back.
So are you withdrawing your motion?
I would like to hear more support from the counselors that wanted it to go to committee for why it should go there if there is no abutter notice and et cetera. Thank you.
Councillor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. I think that was a good motion. By the time it gets approved by us, then goes to the state and gets approved, then comes back to the licensing board. There may be a hearing, but the chances are pretty much zero that this license will be denied. The state is going to approve it. As I spoke to the State House before, they're going to approve it because the City Council approved it. They don't want to go against an 11-0 vote of a City Council. You know, it's a home rule petition, so that's not going to happen. Then it's going to go back to the licensing board, and then they're going to say, well, the state approved it and the City Council approved it. Now the abutters, if they had any issues, have their backs to the wall. Then they're not going to turn down this license. I believe the time to let abutters and their abutters know, just like we do with the Board of Appeals and the Planning Board, is to send out notice, have this meeting and send out notice to the abutters and their abutters. Then they're on solid ground from the beginning. If it passes, we don't have to answer the question to some neighbors, why didn't you tell us about this? Downtown on Washington Street is one thing, but within hearing distance of a neighborhood, I think we should do exactly what Councilman Sill said, put this in committee, let the abutters and their abutters know, let the neighborhood know, and at least we'll be on solid ground. Let's not forget, when you get such a license, you're allowed to be open till 1 o'clock in the morning. Then at times you get employees leaving. One of these backs right up to Rainbow Terrace, which is very residential, and could end up being it'll be the closest liquor license to the college. So there's potential for a lot of activity there. So I think it's proper to let people know what's going on. I don't think some people are going to be upset if they wake up and find out one day that someplace that was open till 10 o'clock at night serving coffee or serving wine is now open until 1 o'clock in the morning. And then there's also the potential to apply for an entertainment license to have music or have something like that. So I think it's good to head it off, especially around the neighborhoods, is to have a meeting and let the abutters know what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor DeVoe.
Thank you, Madam President. I think Councilor Sargent just touched upon just about every one of my points of concerns right here. Later tonight, we're going to consider only a beer and wine license in a similar process as this, but this application is for all alcoholic beverages. And I'd like to question why a facility that's going to be for coffee and for a wine bar wants all alcoholic beverages, because if the property, as the good Councilor Sargent just talked about, if the property's sold, then this could become a bar room with no hearings except for through the license department to switch the name, and the owners rather, and it could stay open until 1 o'clock in the morning and have conflicts with the whole neighborhood that's there, both across the street and behind the building and beside the building. So I thank the Ward 3 councilor for recommending this to go to committee, so we can just clarify a couple of the issues here. Why is it a full license instead of just a beer and wine license? We got to give the opportunity for the neighbors to be heard. I will, as the Ward 7 councilor, I will notify to answer the good Ward 3 councilor's concerns about lack of notification. There really should be, because Councilor Sargent is correct. This is really the only opportunity for the neighbors to really speak up, and they should be heard. So to answer the Ward 3 councilor's concerns, as the Ward 7 councilor, and this second, one of these two applications is for one in Ward 7, I'll take it upon myself to notify all the abutters and the people across the street as well, and maybe abutters to abutters of the date of this hearing and time. So thank you, Madam President. I strongly recommend that we go go to committee for this. And most likely, at the end of the day, I'm going to be voting to support these because I like Jaho and I like the location. I think it'll be beneficial to the city of Salem to have a facility like this or several others in these two locations. But again, if I lived right there, I would want to have my say. And this is, the city council is our only chance to have abutters and neighbors to be able to have their say. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the motion to refer to the Committee on Ordinances, Licensing and Legal Affairs? All those in favor? See 11 hands. All opposed? Seeing none. The matter is referred. The 2 licenses for Jaho. Further communications from the mayor.
We have the following home rule petition to convert a liquor license for wine and malt beverages to be drunk on the premises to a license for the sale of all alcoholic beverages for Boston Burger Company at 133 Washington Street.
Councilor Marcello.
Thank you, Madam President. Just trying to keep my sheet straight here. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Marcello moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion?
None here. Thank you.
Any further discussion from members of the council? Councilor Sargent.
Again, to be consistent, I support this because it's downtown, and I believe that's what these were meant to be. We had a committee that met on how to deal with these years ago, and we, the order was to, to have home rule, how to make rules for home rule petitions in the downtown B5 business district, and again, it's downtown. It's when you go downtown, you're going to get more activity, and but also I like to be protective of the neighborhood. So I'll surely support this. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Terrio.
Thank you, Madam President. Just wanted for clarity, mainly for anybody who might be listening. This location has the beer. They have the all year-round beer and wine license that formerly that they purchased when they purchased the Cafe Graziani location. They also have a seasonal all alcohol license right now. So as well, so they serve all alcohol today. But they do that with a seasonal license. So like we've had situations with some restaurants in the past, they had to close that down for 10 weeks during the winter time. And with this, they'd be able to keep on doing their milkshakes and stuff that they put booze in, and that's their thing. So we've done that with a few other restaurants in town that have had one type of license. So this would be a conversion. Thank you.
You said what was on my mind. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Terrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Kwasniewski?
Yes.
Councilor Matillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore?
Yes. On the home rule petition, the one home rule petition for Boston Burger, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative. The matter carries. Further communications from the mayor.
The following home rule petition to grant an additional license for the sale of wine and malt beverages not to be drunk on the premises for a new beer wine package store at at Peter's Place, Peter's Bella Pizza at 84 Highland Avenue.
Councilor Marcello.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Marcello moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion?
This one is a little different. It's just for the sale. When you go and pick up your food, you can get a bottle of wine or some beer and take it home with you. So it's not a bar instance, I think, in this case. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Flynn.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. I do also support this Ward 4 establishment, family establishment. Never had any complaints about their services or how they run their business. And as was just stated, this is just to have you take out and just to bring it home. It's not to be drunk on the premises, and I do fully support this. It's a great business, and I think it'll help boost their business with everything they're going through with COVID over the last year. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Prosnewski,
Yes.
Council Marcello,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Council Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
and Council Madore.
Yes. On the one home rule petition for Peters Place at 84 Highland Ave, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none negative, none carries. Further communications from the mayor.
We have an order, the mayor is hereby authorized to enter a lease agreement with the Salem Office of Tourism and Cultural Affairs, doing business as Destination Salem, for the use of 1,256 square foot office at the South Harbor Garage.
Councilor Marcello.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption by roll call vote.
Councilor Marcello moves for adoption by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. Our backup materials had quite a bit of information about their proposal with their schedule of monthly rents for several years, and the plan for opening not only the visitor center, but taking care of the public restrooms there. That is a much needed amenity in that area of downtown Salem. And I really appreciate the fact that they're willing to not only open a visitor center in a location that would be extremely beneficial as visitors are getting out of their cars at the garage to know where to go from there, and also have public facilities there. So I think this is a great idea, and I'm looking forward to this opening very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I couldn't agree more. Obviously, I was sad when Scratch Kitchen closed, but since we've automated the garage, there's been a lack of presence in the garage. And I think just by having a presence in the garage and also being able to convert part of that space into public restrooms is going to greatly enhance the garage. I mean, we all hear the complaints about a garage. It's, there's nobody in it, it's dirty, it's blah, 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 this, that. But I think having a presence in there, central location for tourist information, as well as having public restrooms available, I think it's going to be, I'll quote my former colleague, Mr. Tom Fury, I think it's a win-win. I think it will be beneficial, and I look forward to them opening and putting a presence back, actual physical presence back in the garage as opposed to automated and just having our cleaners go through. I think it's going to be extremely beneficial to the garage as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. I have to agree with the comments. I think that's not only beneficial for the visitors, but also will be beneficial for the area. Seven Gables is nearby, and I think they will be very beneficial that that site will provide directions to not only the Seven Gables institution, but to all of these businesses and non-profit organizations that are in that area. So I'm pretty much in favor of this idea, which I think is a very good one. The only thing is that I wanted to hear more on the details. I know it's 5-year lease, according to what I see here, but I just wanted to know all the details that will clarify some of the concern that maybe some of the residents of Salem might have. My base concern are based on the financial aspect of the revenue that the site will produce. How, and I know it's a financial financial way or explain it, but I wanted to make sure that not only us as a city council know what's going on, but the general public will be clear that any revenue produced by this site, where it's going to go, and what the city is intending to do. One of the things that we are very questioning most of the time is what is the transparency on any type of business that we own as a city. So I know that the city have a way to explain that. So that's my only concern. I wanted to hear that we really address the public on how we're gonna sustain the information, the financial information on the revenue that we will receive by this site being rented by and be operated the way it is. So we want to make sure that this is clear. So thank you so much. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Sargent, could you assume the chair?
I have assumed the chair virtually. I call on Council President Madua, Council Ward 2.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to speak in strong support of this proposal. I have thoroughly reviewed the RFP from Destination Salem, and they are fantastic and trusted partners for the city for a really long time. And I cannot think of a better partner or even a better location for excellent use. So to quote our former Councilor Fury, it's a win-win-win. It's a triple win. And in terms of the revenue, I think the RFP was very clear that not only is Destination paying to use the space, they are actually putting in their own money to maintain and staff the bathroom and the cleaning, and they're actually hiring a contractor to clean the bathrooms. So they're not only creating jobs, they're funding the entire establishment using their own funds. So I think this is, I cannot think of a better proposal from a better partner. So I urge my colleagues to really support this so that they could start filing for a building permit to get construction started and well ahead of our October season. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you. Please assume the chair.
Thank you. Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. Just to be clear, in the backup materials, which are posted on the website, salem.com, it goes through the entire RFP. It gives the monthly rent, which starts at $400 in year 1, and then it goes up to $478 a month in year 10. It talks about the fact that Destination Salem will be paying for their own utilities, and the city will be paying for the utilities for the public bathrooms and the common area. As Councilor President Major said, all of the details are there. There is not much more transparency you can have with this particular project, and it doesn't come to a lot of money for the city because Destination Salem is taking care of maintaining the public bathrooms, which is not a cheap endeavor. They also have that figure there too. I believe it's $32,000 a year that they expect to spend to have the facilities maintained. They also include the schedule of it will be cleaned 3 times a day during the busy days of the week, and then it could go down to 2 or 1 depending on how many tourists and how many people are in Salem at the time. I suggest starting on page 87 or thereabouts that people go through and read the entire RFP, which is there. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. This is an easy one for me to vote in favor of. More than 30 years ago, I was charged when I worked with the city of Salem in the planning department, where I was charged with renovating one of the stalls in the marketplace to turn it into the public restrooms that are down there. And then we hired a contractor to clean it daily, to unlock it in the morning. The park police, which we used to have, used to go around and lock it up at night. And back then, we talked about that was going to be phase one, and there would be a phase two of a bathroom somewhere closer to Pickering Wharf area. We didn't have a location because back then it was a former gas station at the corner there before the garage was even built. So this is a great location for this. And I'd just like to thank the board of directors and all of Destination Salem for stepping up on this one here. It's a wonderful proposal. I like the fact that they're going to be having not just a second set of eyes, but multiple set of eyes on the bathrooms and hopefully on the garage to some degree as well, although that's not part of their contract. The way that their proposal spells out how they're going to take care of and watch over the bathrooms is, for a public restroom, it's very, very much needed. So this is, again, once again, it's an easy yes vote from me on this one. It's much needed. And I'd like to publicly thank Destination Salem for stepping up to do this.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll be brief. I just wanted to also speak of my support for this proposal. The RFP that was submitted by Destination Salem, to say it again, is a win-win-win. To speak, though, to my fellow at-large councilors' concerns, I do want to also point out on page 29 of the RFP, they have a budget and a projection budget into the next few years, because this is a prime location downtown where they will be providing essential services to our residents and our tourists and using it as office spaces. So, you know, there is the ability to also sell water and stickers. I think they're going to sell. That's their plan for the first few years. So where is that revenue going to go? And you can see within their budget, it's mostly going towards expenses, and they're actually projecting a net loss the first year. And then probably my guess would be break even is their goal each year. And also as a nonprofit, the revenues would go in and then be put back into the organization going forward. So I just wanted to point that out as well. I appreciate the work that went into this RFP. It was really exciting to read. And I would say the most exciting part was their optimism that they will have something up and functioning by the October tourist season. I don't want to jinx it, but that was noted. So I'm hopeful and excited to see this hopefully move forward this evening.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Troio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Presnowski?
Yes.
Councilor Patillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore?
Yes. On approval of the lease agreement with Destination Salem, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none the negative. The matter carries. Mayor's informational page, none. Motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. Ordered that a Veteran Square to be named after U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Walter Anthony Milcart, who was killed in action in France on September 18, 1944, and that Milcart Square be located at the corner of Grove and Tremont Streets. And I move for adoption.
Councilor Riccardi moves for adoption. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. I reached out to Veteran Services this week when I saw this. It's always exciting to see the memorial and the request going through. There was nobody that requested to speak this evening, but they are looking to have a brief dedication on April 6th at the location for the family, and an announcement will be put out soon. That is all. Thank you.
Councilor, did you say April 6th?
Did I? August 6th.
Oh, August.
Sorry.
Next year, August 6th. Any further discussion?
No, thank you.
Councilor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. Very fitting that Mr. Milcart grew up in North Salem, didn't get to finish out his life there because of the sacrifice he made, and the Milcart's a long time North Salem family. They were, many of them were good in athletics at Salem High and Bishop Fenwick through the years, and from Mac Park and McGlue Park. So I think it'd be very fitting that we have a Milcar Square named after this man. Thank you.
Any further comments? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk. Oh, this is not a roll call. On the adoption, all those in favor? I see 11 hands. I see 10 hands. All those opposed? Seeing none, the matter carries. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councillor Sargent, if you could assume the chair.
I'm assuming the chair and calling on Ward 2 Council President Madore.
Thank you, Mr. President. In City of Salem, July 15, 2021, in City Council, ordered that the right-of-way between 15 and 19 Front Street shall hereafter be named Houdini Way in honor of Harry Houdini, who in April of 1906 performed an extraordinary escape from handcuffs in a locked cell at the former police station at 15 Front Street. And I move for adoption.
Under discussion.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I was approached by a local tour guide, Mr. Jeffrey Lilly, asking how to rename a local street. And so he gave me the story about how Harry Houdini, who visited Salem back in 1906 to perform at the Essex Theater way back when, and the former police chief at the police station that used to be at 15 Front Street challenged him to break out of the jail cell at the station. And so he actually locked him in the jail cell and locked Harry Houdini's clothes in a separate jail cell. And Harry Houdini, I believe, broke out of his own cell within 10 minutes, broke into the cell that had his clothes and released all the, I don't know, they were prisoners. I don't know what they were called. It was an amazing story that apparently many of the tour guides tell when they stop there on these tours. And I've actually heard from a couple of local tour guides telling me how great this is. It's a great idea to name this little alleyway between these two buildings, Houdini Way. And perhaps if we can find a way to put up a commemorative flag to tell the story like we have done in other locations in the city, that would be really great to memorialize this event. And I would encourage everyone to Google Houdini Salem on the internet, and you'll find a couple of web pages by our local historians and tour guides that has pictures and detailed accounts of Mr. Houdini's brief but extraordinary time here in Salem. So that's the backstory, and I really love that story. So, Mr. President, I'll yield.
Thank you. I'm actually going to ask you if you'll reassume the chair because I can't see everybody on my screen. So.
Sure. All right. Any further discussion? Councillor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to know, I know this alleyway pretty good. Is it named anything now? I don't recall seeing anything on a city map. Is there any designation to this little cut through that's there now? Do you know?
Thank you, Councillor. So our city solicitor did actually check on the map and past property records that this short right-of-way does not actually have a name. So it's an unnamed alleyway. Hope that answers your question. Any further comments? Seeing none. All those in favor of the adoption to rename this alleyway Houdini Way? I see 11 hands. All those opposed? Seeing none, the matter carries. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor McCarthy. Oh, sorry. I knew Councilor McCarthy had a late file. Is that right? Oh no, Councilor McCarthy is frozen. Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me.
I'm up.
I can hear you.
Reset.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilor McCarthy.
I would ask the assistant clerk, did you send me over the language for that? The late file?
No, I didn't. I gave it to Eileen. Sorry, Eileen.
I will defer. Eileen, could you read the late file for me, please?
No, it was a request from BNS Fitness to hold a Wicked Half Marathon, 10-miler and 20-miler, on September 19th, 2021, from 7 a.m. to approximately 12 p.m., starting at the Salem Willows Field and finishing at the Salem Willows Soccer Field.
I move that this matter be referred to the Committee on Public Health, Safety, and the Environment, co-posted.
Councilor McCarthy moves that this late file be referred to the Committee on Public Health, Safety, and Environment. Councilor DeBolt. Further motions, orders, and resolutions. Councilor DeBolt.
Thank you, Madam President. Late file. In City Council, July 15th, 2021, ordered that the Committee on Community and Economic Development, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, meet to discuss and make recommendations on the former Ward 2 Club property at the intersection of East Collins Street and Planter Street to include the following. Number one, the building demolition has resulted in an unsafe 3 to 4 foot depth pond, and the perimeter safety fence is not secure and open on one side. Number two, the former building's pond has caused an explosion of mosquitoes to breed and impact the neighborhood. Number three, the safety construction fence is unsafe and located along the street, and the sidewalk was illegally removed. Determine if fence should be moved back onto private property and require the owners to replace the sidewalk along East Collins Street. 4, determine if the City of Salem can issue a building permit and whether or not the use meets the requirements of the Dover Amendment and Chapter 40A, with a detox center being allowed in a tight residential neighborhood and with the area flooding frequently, and that the city engineer, building inspector, and solicitor be invited.
Okay. On Councilor Dibble's late file co-posted, late file to refer the matter to the Committee on Community Economic Development, co-posted. The matter is referred. Councilor Dibble.
Thank you, Madam President. Second order, and the last one I have. In City Council, July 15, 2021, ordered that the Committee on Government Services, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, meet with the city engineer to discuss the following matters. 1, the large number of water breaks happening throughout Salem and the cause of these breaks and what can be done to reduce the breaks. Number 2, the cost of these water line breaks repairs is extremely expensive, and determine ways to reduce this cost. 3, many basements have been flooded, some with raw sewage. Determine ways to stop this from happening and to speed up the reaction time of the city to help residents faster that are being flooded. 4, to recommend actions needed to be taken and report back immediately to the City Council for action. Thank you, Madam President.
On referring the matter regarding water main breaks to the Committee on Government Services, co-posted. Matters referred.
Economic Development Committee.
Great. Councilor, you said Government Services, right? Not Community Economic Development.
Madam President, this last one I just did is Government Services because it is a government service. The first one was Community on Economic Development, which passed. So this one is for the Committee on Government Services, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole.
Yes, thank you.
I believe you had it correct, right?
Yes. Well, Councilor Sargent said it.
My apologies. Sorry.
All right. So that, any further motions, orders, and resolutions? Councilor Dominguez.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a late file. In City Council, July 15, 2021, order that the Committee on Public Health and Safety and Environment, co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, meet to discuss and determine way to require those workers to clean up their dog waste, including possible installing dog waste signs in public spaces. Increase fine to those that violate the ordinance, and other actions as recommended. And I will invite the animal control officer and the health agents.
On the order to increase fines for dog waste, to refer to the Committee on Public Health, Safety, Environment, co-posted, the matter is referred. Any further orders, motions, orders, and resolutions?
May I just ask that Council Dibble and Council Dominguez email me those late files so I can process tomorrow? Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Committee reports. Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. The City of Salem and City Council, July 15th, 2021. The Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of amending an ordinance relative to demolition delay ordinance, has considered said matter and would recommend approval for first passage by roll call vote.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? I see 11 hands. All those opposed? Report is accepted. On adoption of the recommendation, Councilor Marcelo.
Thank you, Madam President. So this was a two-meeting discussion. It was a real good discussion. The original ordinance as sent to us was modified with definitions of demolition, with percentages of different areas, whether it's public facing or percentage of the house. We also approved in committee that a house or a structure from 50 years old to 99 years old would have a demolition delay of 12 months, and anything over 100 years and over would have a demolition delay of 18 months. And that's to give the Historic Commission time to work with the owner to save as much of the historic structure as possible, and work out alternative plans for what they're trying to do. We had a lot of discussion about the fact that 50 years is not that old, and for those of us who are in our 50s, that would be true. So, so we had a discussion about houses that are 50 or 52 years old, and they would have to go through this procedure. And the example was the Witchcraft Heights area and the ranch houses there. And so when the discussion was a question of how that process would go for just a normal house that has no historic significance, it comes down to about a 3-week process where they can go and look at the house and bring it into the commission meeting and handle it, and then they would go on and get their building permit for what they want to do. So I think that covers pretty much the demolition delay ordinance.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Hapworth.
Thank you, Madam President. And I think we owe a big debt of gratitude to both the Planning Department and Historic Salem. I think for most of us, Historic Salem met with us probably 2 years ago, initially trying to advocate for this demo delay, and they put in a lot of legwork to both create this and then to refine it as we moved along and to advocate for it. So very appreciative of the work they're doing. I think we have a lot of conversations on the extremes sometimes when it comes to development. And if you talk to the average person in Salem, people just want common sense solutions that guide development in a way that makes sense for the city. And this does that. This doesn't stop development. This guides it and says, look, if a developer wants to come in and knock a house down and build a McMansion over it or build something else over it, this makes it much more difficult for them, and it makes it much less palatable for a developer who's interested in doing those kind of things. But if you're interested in coming in and preserving a building and you have that expertise and you know how to do that, then Salem's a good community for you because we have a strong demo delay. And not only is it strong, it's clear. And I think that's something that I thank Councilor Marcillo and other committee members for ensuring there's no sort of open-endedness to this. It's clear what constitutes demolition. It's clear what we're trying to preserve, and it's clear what the process looks like. So I think this is just a great example of taking smart real world solutions and guiding development moving forward, because with the cost of real estate, we don't know what, and the demand, we don't know what we're going to see in the future for neighborhoods like the Willows and Bridge Street and even parts of Essex Street that don't have these protections. This sort of adds that extra layer and ensures that Salem keeps the character that we love.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councilor Sargent, if you could assume the chair.
I'm assuming the chair, and I'm calling on Ward 2 Council President Fedor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just really want to express my gratitude to our local partners, Historic Salem, and also our planning staff, especially our historic preservation planner, Patty Kelleher. I think this is such an example and an excellent model of how local ordinances can be revisited to improve it. We identify a real problem and and the local partners and advocates, they met with each of the counselors, including myself, over the years. We talked about how best to improve the demolition delay ordinance, and we worked together and had heard a lot of feedback, and also the draft itself was very clearly written by subject matter experts. So I think this is such a great example of how we can make our local ordinances stronger through productive conversation and thoughtful planning. That actually took, I would say, more than 2 years. And I think we ended up with a document that we think is really strong and really clear, and would do a lot of great things in Salem. So I just want to thank our local advocates and staff that helped us along the way to get to this point. And Mr. President?
Thank you very much. Please assume the chair, because again, I can't see everybody.
Thank you. Any further discussion? None on Councilor Marcillo's recommendation for first passage by roll call vote. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio?
Yes.
Councilor Sargent?
Yes.
Councilor Riccardi?
Yes.
Councilor Prosnewski?
Yes.
Councilor Marcillo?
Yes.
Councilor McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilor Hapworth?
Yes.
Councilor Flynn?
Yes.
Councilor Dominguez?
Yes.
Councilor Dibble?
Yes.
And Councilor Madore?
Yes. On the first passage of the amending the ordinance relative to demolition delay, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, none in the negative, unanimous. Further committee reports. Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. City of Salem and City Council, July 15th, 2021. The Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of video speed detection cameras in school zones, has considered said matter and would recommend approval for first passage by roll call vote.
On acceptance of the report, all those in favor? I see 11 hands, 10 hands. All those opposed, seeing none. And also another recommendation, Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. Actually, I don't think we need a roll call vote on this one, and it's just single passage, correct?
It's not a first, you can do a roll call vote, it's just not first passage.
Not first passage. Okay, thank you.
By roll call vote.
It's a home rule petition, so it's just a single vote. So again, this was another 2-meeting discussion. We changed the trigger point for a ticket from 5 miles per hour over the speed limit to 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. We also removed some language that was, I think, strictly determining how the program would be run. And Lieutenant Tucker made it pretty clear that they do not have the personnel in the police department to handle the volume of tickets and the collection of fines and all of that. So most likely it would be a third party that would be carrying this out. So we wanted to make sure that the language in the home rule petition wasn't written so strictly that they couldn't do this program the way they saw fit. So there was that change. And then also we added that fines collected from these speed camera violations would go into either a revolving fund or a similar type of fund and be used for education programs around safety, street safety, driving safety, aimed at students.
Hey,
so education programs for students. I didn't mean to
Any further discussion? Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none. On approval of the home rule petition, roll call. On approval of the home rule petition, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Council Torrio,
Yes.
Council Sargent,
Yes.
Council Riccardi,
Yes.
Council Prosnewski. Oh, did we lose him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Council Marcillo,
Yes.
Council McCarthy,
Yes.
Hapworth,
Yes.
Council Flynn,
Yes.
Council Dominguez,
Yes.
Council Dibble,
Yes.
Council Madore. Sorry, I'm at the board.
On approval of the home rule petition, we have 11 councilors voting, 11 affirmative, 9 to negative. The matter carries. Further committee reports. Councilor Riccardi.
Thank you, Madam President. The Committee on Public Health, Safety and Environment co-posted with the Committee of the Whole, to whom was referred the matter of the Urban Agriculture Draft Ordinance, is considered said matter and would recommend matter stay in committee. Excuse me.
On the substance of the report, all those in favor? Hands, well, did we lose Councilor Prosnewski? I think we just did.
Video, but I heard him.
All of the
If you want to avoid.
Well, I hope
I
not.
heard him last. I heard him, but I can't see him. But I don't even hear him now. So yeah, I think he lost connection.
All right, I see 10 hands on acceptance of the report.
Hopefully he didn't run into a whale or anything. Ah, there he is.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back. We thought you fell off the boat. No, you're back. You're good. This must be a nice sunset over there. Very pretty.
Well, the phone went into safe driving mode. I think it thinks that I'm driving a car and on video at the same time, so I had to go out and come back in. Let's hope it doesn't do it again.
Let's hope you're not driving a car there.
All right. Adoption of the recommendation. Well, there's no recommendation on adoption of recommendation to refer the matter, have the matter remain in committee. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All opposed. The matter remains in committee. Communication from city officials, none. Petitions.
We have a request from the residents of Puritan Road to hold a block party on September 11th, 2021 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. with a rain date of September 12th.
Councilor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be granted.
Councilor Flynn moved that this be granted. All those in favor, under discussion?
No, I just like to say that I fully support this. I support all block parties. I think this is a great thing for the community, and I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.
Oh, great. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All opposed? The matter is carried. Further petitions.
We have a request from residents of Salem Street to hold a block party on August 21st, 2021 from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. with no rain date.
Councilor McCarthy.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that it be granted.
Councilor McCarthy, move that this be granted. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. The only caveat would be I'm going to need to talk. I have this is a block party that they've had in the past. It's the only thing is it seems like they've stretched out the hours. I know that they like the early hours to set up, but to have a street closed for a block party basically from 7 a.m. to, in this case, 11 p.m. I know it's for the kids. It gets dark out around that time of the year, probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. So I think the last time it went to 10 to give them some time to break down. I just want to have a conversation with police traffic just to make sure that A, that they're aware, and that B, I want the ability to maybe amend the hours, just maybe curtail it a little bit, because it does seem like an awful long day. And I understand the setup, one, to get cars off the street, but 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. is a very long day for a kids block party. So I just want I have no problem with the party. They've had it in the past, but I'm just trying to go, by memory, I asked the city city clerk to look it up. The last time we approved it was till 10. I don't think they need that time, but I just want to make sure. So my motion would be to approve with the caveat that we may amend the hours once I talk to police traffic.
All right, for discussion. Councilor McCarthy's motion to grant this block party with a condition of possibly changing the hours. All those in favor? See all in hands. All those opposed, the matter is carried. Further petitions, Councilor Marcillo.
We have a list of following license applications: public guides, the vehicle for hire, the shift ring, and the vehicles for hire operators only.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be granted.
Councilor Marcillo moved that these be granted. Under discussion.
I do want to point out that several of these are for the shift drink vehicle, so hopefully we'll see that starting up soon, including, by the way, a public guide license for her mom, who was very nervous when she took that test. So I'm so happy to see that she passed it.
She aced it.
Indeed. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? See 11 hands, all those opposed, the matter carries. Further petitions.
We have 2 tag day license applications.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Councilor Marcillo moves that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs. All those in favor? See 11 hands, all opposed, seeing none. The matter carries. Further petitions.
We have 1 drain layer contract operator license application.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be granted.
Councilor Marcillo moves that this be granted. All those in favor? I see 11 hands, all opposed, seeing none. The matter carries. Further petitions.
We have a list of claims.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs.
Councilor Marcillo moves that these be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs. All those in favor? See 11 hands, all opposed, seeing none. The matter carries. Further petitions.
We have 1 signed bond.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that this be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs and returned approved.
Councilor Marcillo moves that this be referred to the Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs and return approved. All those in favor? I see 11 hands, all opposed, seeing none. The matter carries. Unfinished business.
We have the second passage of an ordinance amending an ordinance relative to replacing gender-specific nouns and pronouns to the City of Salem's Code of Ordinances. These were the few that were missed.
Councilor Marcillo.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adoption for second passage by roll call vote.
Councilor Marcillo moves for adoption for second and final passage by roll call vote. Under discussion.
Thank you, Madam President. I was going to say the same thing. These were the 3 items that were missed in our first pass through the ordinances.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilor Torrio.
Yes.
Councilor Sargent. Counselor Sargent, you're muted.
Yeah.
Counselor Riccardi,
Yes.
Counselor Prosnowski,
Yes.
Counselor Marcillo,
Yes.
Counselor McCarthy,
Yes.
Counselor Hopworth,
Yes.
Counselor Flynn,
Yes.
Counselor Dominguez,
Yes.
Counselor Dibble,
Yes.
and Counselor Madore.
Yes. On adoption for second and final passage of ordinance amending ordinance relative to replacing gender-specific pronouns, we have 11 counselors voting, 11 affirmative, none the negative, the matter carries. Anything else? Counselor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like a point of personal privilege.
Counselor Flynn asked for a point of personal privilege. Seeing no objection, Counselor Flynn.
Thank you, Madam President. I think it'd be fitting tonight, after tonight's meeting, that we have a moment of silence for Staff Sergeant Walter Anthony Malcarts. Even though it's going to be the 77th anniversary of his passing, he's a son of Salem, a hero. He served our country, and I think it'd be fitting that we are going to have a sign, Veterans Square, for him, and I think we should have a moment of silence for him and his family.
Moment of silence for Sergeant Neil Cards.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Seeing none, Counselor Sargent.
Thank you, Madam President. I move for adjournment, please.
Counselor Sargent moves to adjourn. All those in favor? I see 11 hands. All those opposed? We adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Safe sailing, Counselor Prosnowski.
Yes, they say.
It's summer.
Of the Coast Guard.
Yeah.